back, baby. How y'all doing? So I'll be doing a reading for the collective. We're going to be going into the Before Tarot, the Eclipse Oracle, and then I have the Mirror Next Money Deck Volume 2. Okay, so that's what we're going to do tonight. Hello, Evelyn. Welcome to the channel. How's everybody doing? It's a pleasure to have you here. Let me just put on my battery save. Okay. All right. Got to turn the battery save on so I can see. All right, so let's see. Let me just pull up my other account here, and we can go ahead and get started. Hello, channel wellness. How you doing? Welcome to the channel. Okay. All right. How's everybody doing this evening? So, happy Sunday. I hope that you've been doing your self-care. Self-care Sunday. I have had a very peaceful Sunday because Saturday I was super busy Saturday. So I've been trying to just keep it light for the most part. Okay. Trying to just keep it. There it is. Look at me. Got the volume still on. Okay. There we go. Hello, Joshua Burke. How you doing, baby? Jamie, Yabaro, Bethany Elliott, Evelyn. Hello, everybody. Okay, so now that I pinned the message, the what she call it? The email. I got my thing pushed over. Okay, so let's get into the Before Tarot, shall we? All right, let's get into it. Hello, Pippi the gangster. Pippi gangster. Okay. Hey, everybody. How's y'all doing? How y'all doing? Now, the Before Tarot is about having forethought. Okay. That's the focus of the Before Tarot. If we have we need to apply some forethought to a situation. It can help prevent a lot of things from happening if you have just a little bit of forethought. And then it's funny to me because my Eclipse Oracle, I always think about how it's like, remember how I just said, the before is like if you could prevent it. Then when we go into the eclipse, it's almost like something's being shifted out. Okay. I've always got one string, two strings. Okay. I don't know. Did I separate it before I did it? I don't remember. Let me do it two more times. Last one. All right. Let's see. Hello, Ebb and Flow. What's up, Dennis? All right. Starting off with the Page of Wands here in the upright. Two of Wands in reverse. Okay. Ten of Pentacles in the upright. Hey, Ziggy. Ziggy Zai. Karen Walker. How you doing? Queen of Cups in the upright. Two of Pentacles is in reverse. Okay. So I see, Page of Wands, Aries energy, or Sagittarius, some people say. Okay, so we got Page of Wands. We have the Two of Wands in reverse. We have the Ten of Pentacles here in the upright. The Queen of Cups, Cancer, Scorpio, Pisces, heavy on the Cancer. There it is. Queen of Cups in the upright. And then we got the Two of Pentacles in reverse. Okay, so somebody wants to get something off the ground, right? But it is hard to get this vision off the ground. Okay, here with the Page of Wands here in the upright. So a Page of Wands is about wanting to take action, right? But in order to take action, you have to know what to do. Okay. Hello, Tam Creasy and Boo Boo Bear, Martin Simpson. Welcome to the channel. So here with the Page of Wands, I want y'all to look at this. Do you see how he's kneeled down in front of this monument, right? But the monument has some hieroglyphs on it. This is like trying to learn how to read. You know how like when they find like ancient writings and it's like, well, who's going to translate this? You know what I'm saying? You want to take action, but some things are like, it's like, okay, I want to move, but how am I gonna get this thing together? Especially if you don't understand the language that something is written in, right? So maybe this plan of yours, there are certain steps or a certain language that you have to communicate to get this thing started, right? So, but here with the Two of Wands in reverse, you want to go. This lets me know you want initiative action. You're passionate about it. Now, you haven't taken the first step. And like I said, you may not know what that step is because here he's stuck because of a language barrier. But you want to take the first step and you're very eager. Normally, a Page of Wands is a young energy, it's very vibrant, it's very energetic. It wants to take action. It just may not know what steps to take. So it's harder for this Page of Wands to make a plan on how to move forward. Now, what is this plan that this Page of Wands wants? Well, it looks like the Ten of Pentacles. This is somebody who wants stability. I want stability, but I don't necessarily know which step I need to take to get to the stability that I want, which is 10 Pentacles. Somebody wants legacy wealth. I want this. I want to be comfortable. I want a very comfortable lifestyle. This is how somebody feels. Now, this is someone who is with the Queen of Cups. This is somebody very focused. I love the Queen of Cups. This is a sweetheart. This is somebody with a very caring spirit about them, very loving, very kind. And then one of the things that I love, though, about a Queen of Cups is that she is focused on what she loves. So whatever you love, you love what you do. And you, whatever this thing you want to do, I think you're in love with it and you believe that you're going to have the 10 of Pentacles. But remember, you just don't know, like, what do I need to do so that I'm not struggling? See, you don't want to be the Two of Pentacles. You don't want to struggle. You want this thing, you want basically some idea that you're in love with to give you 10 Pentacles, and you don't want to be up and down in your finances or in your emotions. You don't want to be struggling. You want it to be very stable. See, both of these are stable energies. Now, when it's upright, this is juggling. But when it's in reverse, this is stability. Like, okay, I'm stable. My pentacles are not up and down. Everything is cool and copacetic. This is what I see somebody who's wanting. Hello, Jim. Thank you for the GG. Hello, Tanny. How are you? Tam Creasy, Earth Angel, Christina, Princess Castle, Sherlon, Savannah. I don't know. I just feel like you're going to be a problem. I'm going to let you go, honey. Hello, breath of fresh air. Just the whole vibe you was just coming in here with. It just felt wrong. Like very sacrilegious. So I'm going to just let you go. What's up, Carlos Lopez? Let's talk about this Page of Wands. So you want to get something off the ground. You want to take action, but it's hard to make a plan. Now, this is going to require forethought. All right? So let's see. So this is you trying to figure it out, but it's in a different language. Let's talk about the Page of Wands. What's up, Spiritual 246, Lynn Rodriguez? How you doing? What you got for the Page of Wands, Holy Spirit? Page of Wands here in the upright. Page of Wands in the upright is being clarified by the Ten of Cups in reverse, the World in the upright, Star in reverse. Now, remember I said you got a lot of passion. You're in the upright. So you're really happy about this. You want to get this thing off the ground, but the Star is in reverse. Remember I said this is another language. This is something like, even if this was like like one of those, what do they call them? Personal chest or like a vault. How am I going to open this thing? You see what I'm saying? How am I going to get this thing open? It almost looks like, if you had a treasure chest and I done found it, but I don't know how to open it. What am I going to do? So here with the Page of Wands, the Star is in reverse. Now, you can't see anything on this particular star. She's covered all the way up. But on this star, Aquarius energy is in reverse. You don't know where to listen. The Star is about being balanced in your emotions and being balanced in your earthly matters. See, same thing, basically almost like this. You see what I'm saying? And you're saying you want to be balanced, but you don't know what to do. So technically the Star is in reverse. You don't know which path to take. So imagine having all this enthusiasm, right? But you don't know how to pour the water to get what you want. You don't know what action to take. So you feel a little hopeless with the Star here. Then it says the world is here. Now, the thing that is probably making you hopeless is apparently there has been an ending. The world is here. Now, some of you all may have come out of a relationship. There's two people here. It's a man and a woman in an embrace. And so there may have been an end to a relationship at some point in time. And so this may be part of what is making you a little bit hopeless. So like, for instance, you know how like if you're in a relationship and it's you and your husband or your wife and y'all are together and y'all are making plans on, a lot of stuff, you know what I mean? And you paying bills and you bringing your stuff to the table and they're bringing their stuff to the table. And so imagine what happens if it ends and you're like, well, now I have half the resources to get stuff off the ground. Maybe this is somebody who would have helped you get your establishment off the ground. Remember, you want 10 Pentacles. And maybe there was a time when you had a partner who was going to help you to get to that 10 Pentacles, but that cycle has closed. And this is fixed energy with the world. So this is permanent. And then because now you're starting to feel a little bit hopeless here with the world. And that's Scorpio, Aquarius, Taurus, and Leo energy. So you and your person have closed out the cycle. Now, the 10 of Cups, though, is in reverse. So now you feeling, oh my goodness. So you're now wondering, like, am I ever going to get my happily ever after? Because remember, if you were writing out your life, right, and you had a thought that it was going to go XYZ. This is going to be real simple. We're together and we have everything we need and me and you together. And you know what I'm saying? And then it's like, you got to rewrite your whole program. And it's funny because I had just seen a thing where this girl was saying that, like she was explaining, this was a young Gen X, I guess, girl. She was about 34 years old. I was watching different little podcasts and she was just explaining how she thought at 34, she would have been married and had her first child. But here it is. She was still single. She had been single for 3 or 4 years. She had lots of projects. She wasn't like a boring person, but a lot of her projects or her hobbies were solo projects. Like she played video games. That she would play, some video games. She liked science. She would just she was very quirky. This girl, she had an interest in tarot. She also had an interest in other little things. And you know what I'm saying? She was just all over the place. I'm not even gonna lie. She was all over the place. So it was really hard for her to find what she was looking for. But this is kind of what I'm saying. So let's say your 10 Pentacles is stability, and her stability was a happy family life, but she didn't know what she was doing wrong to get it established. I thought by now I would have this, but then come to find out when she hit 34, she actually went into a depression because it was like, oh my God, if I were to meet somebody tomorrow, I would want to spend a year getting to know them. And then let's say we got married after a year. I want to be engaged for a year. So she said, I date for a year, be engaged for a year. So that's 2 years. So that's what, 35, 36. Then she said, in the first year of marriage, I want us to enjoy being married. So I don't want to have my first child. So she said, so by the time I have my first child, I'll be 37 if I was to meet somebody tomorrow. But it didn't look like that was going to happen. So this is what I'm saying as far as like the 10 of Cups. This 10 of Cups came in reverse. So this is not somebody getting their happily ever after. In fact, that happily ever after is looking like the whole thing is being rained on. Like your parade is being rained on. I thought life was going to be this, and now it's this. And so now it's almost like trying to learn how to adjust to the hand you're being dealt. Okay, what can I do with the hand that I'm being dealt? I thought my expectation was this, and it's not. See what I'm saying? So do you understand like that hieroglyphic thing that we was trying to explain and how the difference is? Like, okay, I want to get something off the ground, but I don't understand what language. And that was one of the things that the girl was trying to understand, was like, okay, so what am I doing wrong that I'm not in a relationship? The longest relationship I think she had been in was like 2.5 years in her entire adult life. And that was 2 separate relationships added together. So she had not really. So imagine like if you're not normally a good dater, and then, you know what I'm saying? So you got to figure out, okay, so what am I doing? What am I doing? So that was her whole podcast, was about what is she doing wrong to try to get, what she wants. it's kind of hard to see a future when you didn't already met your deadline. Now, whoever this is, you thought that you were going to have a partner. You don't have one. You're not getting your happily ever after. The star is in reverse. Things are starting to look hopeless. And now you're starting to fall into a little bit of depression. See here, the rain on the 10 of cups is like, okay, what I wanted is starting to look like it's not going to happen, especially with the 10 of cups in reverse. So it's like you're not getting that happily ever after. So here with the 2 of wands here in reverse, somebody's having a hard time making a plan. What's up, the Firebird, Daisy Neves, Charity Ward, Linda Wolf, Nee Gaz. Thank you, Nee, for subscribing. Welcome to the channel. Anybody else? Okay, so let me go back down to the bottom. So let's talk about how, now you don't know what to do. Because this was not the plan that you had made. So some of y'all, the plan may have been like, I didn't plan on getting a divorce. Me and my husband or wife, who was going to buy a house in the country and start a little mini farm. And now I don't have the money to build a farm. And I didn't plan on, the first 2 years of marriage, it wasn't going to work out. Now I'm divorced. Like, it could be 1,001 things for each and every last one of you all. But sometimes we plan on our lives going one way. But you could see that it's like, okay, it's a lot of series of unfortunate events leading you down another path. And you're like, I don't even know what to do. How can you make a plan? You don't know what to do. You're just sitting there like a deer in headlights. Hello, Karen Langford. Let's talk about the 2 of wands here in reverse. Please come on in. Double tap your screens. Let's get the likes up, please, and thank you. Let's talk about it. Okay, so we got the Ace of Cups in reverse. Ace of Cups, Cancer, Scorpio, Pisces. And then we have the Knight of Pentacles, Taurus energy. And then we have the 8 of Pentacles here in the upright. This is you realizing that the offers aren't coming in. You want to offer, but with the Ace of Cups, nobody's making an offer. So it's looking like you're going to have to do this work by yourself. So I'm going to use the girl who I was using earlier. Baby, I just did Firebird. Check out the all signs reading from Saturday. Cancer is in there. Okay. Go to the page, hit my picture at the top of the screen, go to live, or you can go to the all signs playlist and pick the most recent all signs and catch the Cancer reading there. Okay. All right. Now, this is somebody who was wanting an offer, but there are no offers being made. Hence, like the girl I just gave you, she wanted a husband, but she didn't really have a lot of dating options. So it was like she is starting to realize, I'm going to have to work by myself. I got to work with what I got. So this is you realizing that in y'all's case, y'all had a partnership. It came to an end. That happily ever after is being rewritten. Nobody's pouring into your cup. You're going to have to do the work by yourself. There's no love here. So it's like, okay, I got to reevaluate my plan. If I want to get to the 10 of Pentacles, I'm going to have to work on this thing by myself. Now, this is you trying to do forethought. Okay. Now, it's kind of hard to have forethought when you were not expecting to be derailed. So you may be sitting down, reflecting on what it could have been. You know how sometimes, like, when we break up with people and then it's like, okay, this is not what I expected. Had I known this, I probably would have did X, Y, Z. Had I known, but yeah, we would have all done something different had we known. But sometimes that's just not how it is. So let's talk about this 10 of Pentacles. What's up, Brigida? How you doing? And hello, Dan. How are you? So we got the Page of Swords here in the upright. That's Gemini energy. 10 of Pentacles, please, Holy Spirit. What you got for the 10 of Pentacles here in the upright? So we got the Page of Swords, the 8 of Cups, ooh, child, and Temperance. Okay, so we got Sagittarius energy with this Temperance. So somebody wants the 10 of Cups. But with the Page of Swords, remember, your partner, you wanted a stable family life. See how this almost looks like that story I just told you about that girl. Because see, that's a wife. That's the husband. He's older. He's got pets, but she's holding a newborn baby. So this is somebody who's like, okay, I wanted a stable, happy family life. But instead, the person, what is being communicated is somebody felt like not another day, not another minute. 8 of Cups, somebody was selfish and chose to leave. They drank from the cup, they left. And so now you're in this situation with the world where you're by yourself. And all you're wondering is, okay, well, how am I going to alchemize at this point with temperance? How am I going to take this situation that I wasn't expecting to be in and turn it into something else? Now I gotta redefine what I want out of life. I gotta redefine my goals. Okay, so like, and this could go for any of y'all. You could make a plan to go to school and finish. And, I'm going to go to school for 4 years and I'm going to major in this. And then you get in school and then a whole bunch of unexpected events could come. Maybe, you could have something happen unexpected. Y'all, life happens. Sometimes people's parents could pass away or something bad could happen. And then you may have to go back and help with younger siblings. And I'm not trying to go like real morbid with it, but life will sometimes life. And it'll be big shifts that will redirect your life. And I'm not saying that I want anything bad to happen to you, so don't take it that way. But this is what I'm getting here is that you can plan all you want on it being one thing, and then when you get shifted, it's like I said, you feel like a deer in headlights. Or whoever this is, temperance is still about pouring that water on the earth, but also in the water. But see, this is somebody who was wondering, like, well, how am I going to fill my cups if nobody's pouring in my cup? See, now I got to figure out how am I going to get to the pinnacles? How am I going to have at least a stable, happy life by myself? If I thought that this was going to be a me and you, we're going to have little babies running around, and I thought we was going to have this, that, and the other. And this is where this girl, like I'm using her example, but the cards are kind of lining up like that. So it's like, what's going to pour into my cups to help me to alchemize? How am I going to I'm going to have to do all the work by myself. And that was one of the things that she was like trying to, in the podcast that she was trying to figure out was like, okay, so I didn't meet my marker of being married by this age. I am getting older. And the window of time for having a baby for her, a healthy baby, was getting smaller. And she wasn't dating. So she was like, so maybe I need to come up with another plan for just in case. Now, do you see the forethought? So maybe this is some of you guys going, okay, stuff didn't happen the way I thought it is. Now, I'm going to have to make a different plan. I want to do something I love. Queen of Cups that I can really focus on that will bring me 10 Pentacles. So this is you wanting to focus on something different that you love. Now, I think it's interesting that there is a dolphin coming out the water. Dolphins are very, I think that's a dolphin. Dolphins have their own way of communicating. They say they're very intelligent, dolphins, and they do have their own language. Did y'all know that it's against the law to talk to dolphins? Did y'all know that? I did not know that. Like, they have a rule because they have their own language, and I guess like they do some stuff telepathically. And like certain humans, if we were to talk to them all the time, you would actually get into it. So I didn't know that. I was actually watching something. They was like, it's against the law to talk to dolphins because of their telepathic communication is so advanced. But notice here, this is what I'm saying. So remember how I said the communication, if the language is different. Now you're trying to figure out, so what language is mine? What will work for me? What can I do that I will love to do that I can do by myself and still get to the 10 of Pentacles, and I'm not struggling upside down, right? I want to be stable. I don't want to be struggling upside down. I want to be stable. So let's talk about the Queen of Cups. Okay. Is this making sense to y'all? I hope y'all following. Hello, Deborah. King Copa the Don. How you doing? Welcome to the channel. Robert Ryan. Welcome back. Okay. Dan Peterson. I think I already got you. All right. So we're going to go back down to the bottom. How you doing, Mind Strong? So let's talk about this Queen of Cups. That's my water energy. Cancer, Scorpio, Pisces. Heavy on the Cancer. All right. So let's talk about it. Hello, Ashley. Let's talk about the Queen of Cups. Queen of Cups here in the upright. Queen of Cups in the upright is being clarified by the 10 of Swords in reverse, Justice in the upright, and the Strength. Now, I love this. Remember, I said you want to do something you love. You want to find the right vibration. Now, why do I say vibration? Because vibrations have to do with also communication. Like, are we on the same vibe? You want to do something, even if you have to do it by yourself, this is the perfect language for you. This is the perfect vibe for you, right? You know what to do to unlock that 10 of Pentacles. Now, here with the 10 of Swords, your person left earlier. Remember, the world, there was an end to a relationship. It was two people on the world. So a relationship possibly ended. And that 10 of Cups is not looking like you're going to get that particular, your 10 of Cups that way. So here with the 10 of Swords, you're hoping nobody was planning on hurting you. But with the 10 of Swords, you don't want to hurt yourself at all. So with the 10 of Swords, this is you saying, okay, I want to do something I love and I don't want to hurt myself by gambling on stuff that don't make sense. Does that make sense? What I'm saying? So like, let's say, let me give you an example. Maybe you want to be an artist, right? But you don't want to be a starving artist. I want to be an actress, but acting gigs are very hard to come by. And I heard a lot of them got a waitress or they got to do other things. You don't want to be the starving artist. You like, I don't want to hurt myself. I want to do something that I love, but I don't get hurt. I want something that speaks to me. It's the truth, justice. I'm standing in my truth. I feel balanced in my scales. Here's the scales, and the scales meaning your insides. You want to feel balanced within. But you want to love what you do and be true to what you do. Be true to it, right? You want to be in a strong position. You want to be happy. Look at how the lion looks, how happy he looks. You want to be victorious. You want to be happy. You want to be where you persevere, but it's like you come out on top. And look, and I am even getting what just popped in my head when I seen this lion laughing, like, look at me up here worrying about nothing. This is how you want to be. You really want to laugh at yourself. It'd be like, look at me laughing. I was out here worried about this for nothing. Look at me. I'm actually doing better than I thought I did. This is you, strength. Okay, Leo energy, Libra energy. You don't want to struggle, like I said, in your finances. You don't want your emotions. See the waves and how they're going up and down. You don't want your emotions up and down. 1 minute I'm cool, next minute I'm down. You don't want that. You just want to be cool. Remember, I said you want your scales balanced. You want to feel balanced, good. You want to love what you do. Welcome, El Jador, Wendy. Hello, Daphne, the Brooklyn Latina. Let's talk about the 2 of Pentacles here in reverse. 2 of Pentacles in reverse. This reading is a little bit different. I don't know if y'all following. 2 of Pentacles, we got the Fool in reverse. Ooh, wee. All right, we got Fool in reverse. And then we have the 5 of Cups in reverse. And we have the 3 of Wands in reverse. Okay. Here's the thing. You want to restore your faith with the 5 of Cups. That's the 5 of Cups in reverse. Okay. So your person left. You don't want to be mourning. You don't want to be crying. You just want okay. I don't want to be in regret that they left. And I definitely don't want to cry over the fact that they left. I just want to be cool and copacetic and just deal with what I have. And this is like accepting the truth for what it is. Okay, that happily ever after thing, it ain't happening. That with that person, I'm not going to have a new start with them. The Fool is in reverse. You're not getting a new start or taking that leap of faith down that road to companionship for some of y'all. So it's like you want to just restore your faith, but you don't want to be out here watching water boil for the next person. You see what I'm saying? You know how sometimes like when people break up, they like anxious to get to the next person. And it's like literally watching water boil. And they say, a watch pot will never boil. So this is you. Notice here, he's got his back turned to where his ships are coming in. I don't want to be up here anxious for the next relationship, but I do want to restore my faith. But I don't want to be like, oh my God, I'm putting myself on a time limit. Like that girl example I gave you. When am I going to meet somebody? When am I going to get that next person? Who's going to pour into me? I mean, I'm by myself, but I don't want to have a bad life. I need to be stable. Like you don't want to panic. Breathe. Ground yourself. This is you wanting to focus on whatever's in front of you. He's reading a piece of paper. So this is you wanting to focus until things, see how the bird is on his other arm? You want to focus on whatever's in front of you till things take off. I know eventually divine timing will happen for me. In the meantime, I need to just restore my faith and deal with the hand that I've been dealt. I mean, what else you going to do? I mean, you can sit here and cry over spilled milk, or you just gonna have to deal with what you got and find the joy in what you got. Yes, we know, Sweet Pea. And before you go any further, oh, look at there. Thank you, JP to God. I was getting ready to get it. Thank you. Welcome, baby. How you doing? Welcome to the channel. Hello, T-Bird Action. Did I miss anybody else? I think I got most of y'all. Hello, Ma D. Welcome to the channel. Okay. All right, let's get into it. So this is what I'm seeing. Imagine y'all have a plan, and like I said, and you thought it was going to be one thing, and then some unexpected life event happens, and you got to write a new plan. So what you going to do? What is the new plan going to be? What's the new plan? Welcome, Ashley. You see what I'm saying? And this happens to all of us at some point in time. We can expect one thing and something else. Like, you're very lucky if most of your plans turn out the way you plan them. But like I said, life sometimes. Life. I wasn't expecting to be in a car accident, and now I don't have use of my left arm. Like, oh my God, there's this really good, I cannot think of his name. He is a motivational speaker. He was going to school to be, he had actually got drafted to play professional football out of college. And he was really, really good and got injured at like one of the last games that he was supposed to play college football in. And it completely destroyed his left, like one of his arms is just like he wears like a sleeve on it. And actually he became a motivational speaker. He had no intention on doing that. He was going to go be one of the, I'm ready to be drafted. And that was his thing. And see, this is what I'm talking about. Sometimes, and he was devastated because now he's completely paralyzed in one arm. And he was a big guy, big football player. And now it's like his body changed. His whole mindset had to change. And this is what this message is about. How are you going to be able to use forethought for when life gives you lemons unexpectedly? What will you do? Page of Pentacles is in reverse. Judgment is in the upright. So we got Virgo energy, Libra energy. All right. And then we have the Ace of Swords, Aquarius, Libra, Gemini. The Four of Cups is in reverse, and the Seven of Wands. So remember, this is somebody who is very excited about taking action. Whatever relationship this person had has come to an end. That Ten of Cups is actually in reverse. I'm not going to get my happily ever after. What I thought was going to be my happily ever after is going out the window. And now I don't have the money that I thought I was going to have. Or like how like the Page of Pentacles is not always about necessarily being broke, but whatever little bit of money you had to invest, now that's gone. Because maybe you know how sometimes when people get married, y'all rely on each other. Not trying to say y'all, well, I'm not trying to make y'all be codependent, but typically you don't have everything you want that you and your spouse would build over time. So whatever little bit y'all have, y'all got it together, but you don't even have that now that they're gone. So you're sitting up here wondering with the Page of Pentacles in reverse, okay, well, who's going to show me mercy? How am I going to get resurrected if I'm the one who has to figure out how to get the money to do whatever this dream is? Okay. All right. I'm trying to hold on to hope here. See, a resurrection is about going, feeling renewed, feeling like, okay, I got a new start, feeling good about it, feeling like your soul feels refreshed, right? You want victory and success with the Ace of Swords here in the upright. So somebody is seeing victory and success as their future. They still think that they can have the Ten of Pentacles, even if they have to go it alone, but you feel stuck. Because now look at how his sword is in the mountain. You feel stuck by your trial or your tribulation. And I don't know what to do. I don't know what to do. And so you're wondering, will you ever be really crowned with victory? You still believe in it. But how am I going to be crowned with victory if I don't know how to get unstuck? You're wondering like, okay, I got to get up. With the Four of Cups, there's nobody giving you a handout. So guess what? Nobody's coming in to save you. Nobody's coming to save you. There's nobody coming to rescue me. I got to do this alone. I got to get up and I got to get off my butt and figure it out. And I'm not going to lie. You have the heart to persevere. You're still trying to find the joy in a bad circumstance where your life is giving you a hand of lemons. You know, you got to get up and do something if you want justice. You want things to balance out. You don't want to experience an ending because look, there's people who look like they're in the background waiting to see you not make it. And that happens, y'all. We all sometimes will have different ones. It could be family members. It could be loved ones. It could be old friends. It could be people in the background who are just waiting to see you be stabbed in the back. They want to see, there's people who love bad news. And especially if things are looking good for you, there's always a hater in the background who cannot wait to see you go through an ending. And you're like, before that happens, I got to figure out what I'm going to do to maintain justice. I know it's people who want to see me fail, but I love what I want to love what I do, and I want to get to that 10 of Pentacles, and I need to persevere. So I know I got to get up to do something about it, but I ain't gonna lie. You're feeling a little bit defeated because it's like life is whooping you real good. Now, some of y'all may have tried to pray because this is somebody who's not even fighting. I'm praying. But you're starting to lose a little bit of hope. Faith is starting to wane a little. Because see, the 7 of Wands is in reverse. You start to feel defeated. I've been praying. God fights my battles. And now it's like, is he listening? Somebody feels defeated. Because see, remember, you're trying to wait on divine timing. But now you're starting to feel like I need to get up and do something. And maybe you are doing something. But now, you know how sometimes y'all can be doing something, but then it feels like I've been doing this way for so long. Maybe I need to pivot and do something different. You know how like you could do something and it's like, but it's not getting a result. So then you go, okay, I've been doing this and I've been doing this and I've been praying, and I've been praying. And then it's like, is God trying to tell me, do I need to move and shift and do something different in order for me to, like, he's not going to bless this way. So maybe I need to move it into a different pathway. Does that make sense? I think y'all get what I'm saying. This is like a heavier message. So everybody is not going to catch what I'm putting down. What's up, Ruth? But I think y'all get what I'm saying. Hello, Yamaya and Ashley. Okay, Maureen, how are you, baby? Welcome to the channel. Janice, welcome. Okay, so let's get into it. And I apologize, y'all, but this read is a little longer because it's a little heavier. But y'all feel what I'm saying? So this is you living your life, expecting one thing, and now you have been handed lemonades. Lemons. Life has handed you a bucket of lemons. A new hand has been dealt to you, and you're wondering, like, how am I supposed to play the hand? You don't understand how to play the hand. Hence, we're going back to that page 1. You want to do something, but you don't understand the language of the hand you've been dealt. You've been praying, but now you feel like, okay, God's not responding. Maybe I don't understand the language. Maybe it's me. You see what I'm saying? So let's get into it. What you got, Holy Spirit? What else you got for the collective? King of Pentacles is in reverse. Oh my goodness. We got Taurus, Capricorn energy. Ace of Pentacles is in reverse. Oh my goodness. Lovers is in the upright. Knight of Wands is in reverse. Emperor is in reverse. Okay, so we have the King of Pentacles, Taurus, Capricorn. We have the Lovers, Gemini, the Knight of Wands in reverse, Sagittarius, and the Emperor is Aries. Okay, hello, Dr. Anthony and Gideon, Dr. Hope. How are you? Welcome. All right, so let's get into it. So you are starting to feel, remember I said a little hopeless. Why are you feeling hopeless? Because you don't understand the new hand you've been dealt. And with the star in reverse, you're like, okay, how am I going to balance stuff out? I don't know what to do. I thought I was going to have a partner. The partner is now gone. And so whatever little money we had, we was going to put together to pool to grow something. See how the sunflower is growing? Y'all was going to put that little bit together to grow. But now you're by yourself. You don't even have that. So now you're out here with even half of whatever the two of y'all, which really wasn't much. And now you're feeling very unstable. King of Pentacles is in reverse. See, that's the King of Pentacles. He's got a lot of riches, but you're like, okay, nothing's growing. I'm not feeling like I got that Midas touch. What is going on? Ace of Pentacles, Taurus, Capricorn, Virgo energy. You're starting to feel like this is not, oh my God, I'm unstable and there is no equal give and take. There's nobody pouring into your cup. You know you need somebody. I think this is funny because look at this Ace of Pentacles in the upright. It looks like somebody's handing someone something. But now this looks like you're giving someone else something. And you're like, I need a resurrection. But see, the angel hasn't blown the horn. Everybody's still in the grave. And you like, come on, man. I thought this was going to be my new start. The angels hasn't blown the horn. I need to be resurrected. This is supposed to be a change. I don't have the money. I'm starting to feel unstable. I'm getting like, you know how it feels like they say the air is getting thin? I thought that I was going to have a partner, but now I don't. Now I feel stuck. The Lovers is here. It's like you thought that y'all was going to help each other. See how he's reaching his hand down to help her to get up? But that one who was laying down, let's just say they walked off. Remember, the world was here. It was two people on the world card. But that means that signals that relationship is over. Now you feel stuck because you was expecting to have a partner. Everything is happening so fast with the Knight of Wands. It feels like everything's impulsive. Now you're feeling the heat on your ass because money, you're becoming more and more unstable. And so now here with the Four of Cups and the Knight of Wands, you're like, okay, I got to get up. Now you're starting to feel very impulsive. I got to do something. 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 Oh my God, what am I going to do? Remember, you were praying, but that ain't seeming to be like God is not seeming to be answering because now you're starting to feel a little bit defeated. And now with the Emperor in reverse, it looks like chaos is getting ready to hit the roof ever since that person left. And now you're like, okay, I don't know what I'm going to do. You know what this reminds me of? You know how like sometimes imagine like if you was to marry somebody in a new country, you don't know anybody. And you are expecting to be with this person that you love. Let's say you met your person in your home country. And then you end up moving to their country. And then when you get to their country, before your visa and all of your stuff comes in, y'all break up. You know, they have put a time limit. Like you can't work for a certain period of time sometimes when you move to other countries. And then you and this person then broke up. And you're looking like, well, I can't work because the visa that they're getting ready to give me. And this is a true story. I seen this on another thing where this girl, this kind of happened to her. And she was like, okay, what am I going to do? She had moved to Australia. She was driving a little beat up hoopty that she couldn't get I can't get a job. And it was starting to feel like, oh my God, what am I do? 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 You're stuck. Your partner is gone. You have no money. You don't know what you're doing. Chaos is happening because this person dropped their position. Your partner impulsively dropped their position. And now you're feeling like, okay, I've been praying. That isn't working. Now you're starting to feel like you got to hurry up and get up, get up, get up, get up, get up, get up. What am I do? Hello, Ola May. Thank you. All right. So we have the Seven of Pentacles in the upright. The Six of Pentacles is in reverse. Oh my goodness. Death in reverse. Scorpio energy. Three of Swords in the upright. And now we have the Six of Wands in reverse. Okay. This is you sitting up here feeling like, okay, Page of Wands. This laid on the one with the Page of Wands. I was supposed to be getting money off the ground quickly. This is you just using your forethought. That was the plan. The original plan was that we were going to work together and get money off the ground quickly. But instead, I have no equal give and take. Nobody's giving me anything. If anything, it's a loss. There is no new financial beginning. Nobody is giving to me. Nobody is helping me. We were at least going to help each other. Some of y'all have wondered, is your partner going to come back at least? Maybe. They know my situation. Are they going to death in reverse? Are they going to ever come back and give to me that handout? See how he has his hand extended? Are they going to come out and give me that hand that I deserve? And now guess what you're going to find out? No, they're not. Because your person was sexually impulsive. 3 of Swords. You just didn't know that your heart was getting ready to be broken. See, you had went into this with a whole heart. You didn't expect to have an ending. You thought the love was going to take off. See how that bird is next to the heart and it hasn't been pierced? You thought love was going to take out. Ooh, you're looking at everything from a higher perspective. You happy? You didn't know that those swords were just waiting to pierce your heart because your person, it was just a matter of time that you were going to find out that this person is sexually impulsive and they might be hiding a little secret that they get down. But to get down, this is somebody who, my Knight of Wands in reverse is people who hide their sexuality. They're that sexually impulsive. Somebody is out here sleeping with both sexes and you didn't even know that your heart was getting ready to be heartbroken over this. Now you're realizing, remember, you was hoping they was going to come back. But now that you're realizing that this person with the 3 of Swords, that you're in a third party, you know they're not going to come back and put you up on a pedestal because this is somebody who is now putting everybody else above you. Everybody's more important to you. And now this is explaining why your person was so irresponsible and so quick to let go of your hand. And now it's like you're looking at this like, okay, I had no intentions on being here. I had no intentions on being in chaos. I had intentions of love and partnership and 10 of Cups and 10 of Pentacles. But I'm not getting any of that. Not getting any of that. What's up, A. Kim, Dessou? It be like this. It be like this. What's up, Novia? How are you? Welcome. 310, The City. How are you? Twin Flames. Yes. Welcome to the channel. Did I miss anybody else? Okay, I'm going to go back towards the bottom. Please come on in, say hello, and double tap your screen. Hello, Honey Sky. So this is a different type of read. And I'm not trying to like make anybody sad or have you on the edge of your seat. But like, I feel like I'm on the edge of my seat because I can feel the anxiety. Because it's like, this was not the plan. The plan was not for me to be out here unstable, losing money by the minute. And you're like, I'm praying and praying and praying. I'm supposed to be victorious. The plan was to be victorious. Not stressed out, feeling like I hurt myself just even going for love. Look at all the blood on these swords. This is somebody who was losing sleep. And you're like, I'm stuck. I'm in the dark. This is somebody who looked like they just, normally they up crying. This is like somebody who just done gave up. Like life is just I thought I was going to be having money. I'm out here. I didn't hurt myself going for what I thought was positive. It was supposed to be love, right? This is somebody like I'm, you know, y'all know how it is when you just laying in the bed looking at the ceiling. And all you think about is 9 swords. This is bills. This is everything. You just looking like, how did I get here? How did I get here? Empress is in reverse. See what I'm saying? Everything is drying up. I'm supposed to be an empress. He or she's supposed to be, you know, depending, because sometimes women, y'all know, sometimes y'all flip. There's some men in their feminines, there's some women in their masculine, but whoever this is, y'all supposed to be that perfect soulmate couple. But instead, y'all are karmic. And even if you're same sex, y'all were supposed to be karmic. And when I say this person is sleeping with both sexes, so maybe there are times where people are same sex connections and you found out your person has decided that they don't want to play for the same team y'all on anymore. They want to go back to the other team. So now you're in a third party situation that you had no idea. And everything for you is looking crazy because things for you are drying up by the minute. Empress, Taurus energy. But you thought that y'all was going to be a power couple. An empress in the upright and an emperor in the upright is supposed to be a power couple. Remember, you thought you was going to have 10 pentacles, 10 cups. And this is you looking at all the money drying up. I want to still do what I love. But how am I going to get resurrected? I got to change the plan, right? You don't want to experience the ending. I see it because death is in reverse. See, the moon. You didn't see this coming. But you're hoping that even though you didn't see it coming, that God, please illuminate a path so I can get free. See, this looks like a little crab that looks like he's drowning. But see, the path is being lit up. So it's almost like you're hoping that God will eclipse, even in the dark of your darkest hour, that he will come in and eclipse the darkness and show you the path out. Remember, you're waiting on that angel to blow the trumpet because right now, doesn't this look a lot like somebody who was waiting on a resurrection? Do you see that? This is somebody looking for a new beginning, a new start. You're just sitting here going, well, God, are you going to show me the path? Like this is the hand I've been dealt. And I thought that they were going to come back, but now I know they're not going to come back because this is somebody who is really out here in these streets. They're having a good time. They're not even thinking about me at this point. That's not even an option. I didn't see this coming. I didn't even know my person had 9 other options. I didn't even know that the options that I thought I had were all an illusion. You didn't see it coming, and you didn't know that your cups was going to be on E. You thought that this person was going to give you the 9 of cups, and you was going to, 7 of cups. This is 7 of cups. You thought with the 7 of cups, you thought you were going to have all these options, but instead it looks like, one, you were blinded. Your hands are over your eyes. I just didn't see it. And then you see how the clouds look like? That's an illusion, and every cup is empty. I didn't know my person had all these options. I didn't know I had no options. I had no, that if this person cheated on me, I wasn't going to have the options I thought I had. And now, with the 10 of Wands, you have to carry all of the wands by yourself. You got to carry the 10 of Wands by yourself. Now, this looks like 2 people. But see, remember, you thought you had a partner, so y'all was going to carry, somebody was going to help to carry the load. But now you're out here having to carry the load by yourself. And look at here, right up under that. Yeah, this was, I don't know if I should take this. I'm not going to take that. But yeah, you got to carry the load all by yourself. I'm sorry. It happens, y'all. Hey, Sage G. It happens. There are times in life where we'll expect, I'm going to go to college and I'm going to get out in 4 years and it's going to be this. And then something tragic happens and you got to go home. And you don't get to finish. Or, hey, it happens. Like, for instance, my brother, like, let me give you an example that happened to him. Him and his wife, he fell in love. He was like so excited. And he was like, yeah, we're newlyweds. And then like not even 2 months in, his mother-in-law had a massive stroke. She has never been the same. And they are now taking care of his mother-in-law like a baby. And they got 2 small children. It is hard. So you have to change her, wash her, feed her. Her whole brain. Some people's strokes be hard. Like they never regain full speech or full motor skills. 2 months into being married and you're expecting this is supposed to be my happiest time. We newlyweds, run around the house butt naked, pinch each other on the butt, having a good time. And no. You instantly become a caretaker that you weren't expecting to be. It happens, y'all. Y'all be playing it, People will go into a hospital, not trying to be like morbid or nothing. Like, you and your wife supposed to come home and raise y'all new baby, but she may not make it through the birth. Now you're a single dad by yourself, and you already got a small child. Do you see what I'm saying? And I want you to really look at the seriousness of when you make plans and life gives you a whole, like, these are not easily fixable plans. Like, you know, you got to go in another direction, but the panic sets in because it's like, this is hard. What do I do? And you're just hoping that God will come in an eclipse. See how that looks like a sun with the moon, and will go out here and eclipse the darkness and show you another way out. Like, there has to be a way for this to work, right? It happens, y'all. It happens. I'm not saying, I haven't said anything that was funny. I just said life has a funny way of sometimes you think it's going to be one thing, and then you find out you're going down a whole nother path. It just is like that sometimes. Hello, Jimmy. We don't intend on it being that way. It just is sometimes. It just is. Okay, so we have the Nine of Pentacles. You're realizing you're stressed out. You know, you expected money to be in fast. So now you're going to have to do this on your own. I have got to figure out how to get to the Nine of Pentacles by myself. I can't depend on nobody. Then who you going to depend on? There is no one. It's literally me, myself, and I in the Most High. This is why you're looking up at this eagle, and you want to know what's so crazy. It's like, that's all I got. That's all you got. That's what you're saying. That's all I got at this point. I have to be independently single, sexy, successful. There are no ifs, ands, and buts about it. And it is stressing you out figuring out how to do this. I don't have the luxury of calling my partner and saying, are you sure you want to do this? You're finding out they're all the way to the left. You can't even, that ain't even an option to talk to them at this point. So now you're sitting there looking like, okay, I need to get to the Nine of Pentacles, but look at here. The Eight of Swords, Aquarius energy, you're feeling like life is manhandling you. Look at this. You are in the Eight of Swords. Resources are dried up. You may have cried so much. Ain't enough emotion to keep crying. You feel like life is bounding you up and leading you off to the slaughter. And what am I going to do? I got to be independent. You're in a mental prison on how to get from this to this. From the Eight of Swords to the Nine of Pentacles. And you know why you're so stressed out? Because everything's dried up. Empress. I was never supposed to be an Empress in reverse. I was supposed to be an Empress in upright. I'm an Eight of Swords. What the hell is going on here? I was never supposed to be single. Terrified. Taurus energy. You was never supposed to be single, baby. You thought that you and your person were going to bring the keys together. And together, y'all was going to know what to do. But come to find out, what was being done in the dark was that you were getting ready to be single. There's a lot happening in the dark. I had no idea I was getting ready to be single, and you're going through a massive tower. Scorpio energy. Taurus with the Hierophant. So we have somebody out here who is going through a tower. And you're like, my goodness, I didn't even see that I was getting ready to go through a massive tower moment. And what I mean by massive tower, y'all, you go to the doctor for a routine checkup. You come home, you find out something is seriously wrong. What? I thought I had a little pimple right here. And some people find out it's skin cancer. You got to go have major surgery. You got to go through chemo. Now, why am I doing such serious things? Because I'm trying to get you to understand that whatever this is, ain't no easy fix. So it ain't like people could just be like, well, you know what you should do is, no, whoever this is, you didn't see this tower. You didn't even know that God was getting ready to put you in a situation where, look at this, people are already gathered at the bottom waiting to see your fall. Remember, you got people, 10 swords. You got people lying in wait to see your ending. You're in the tower. People are already looking at you like, oh, okay, you think you all this, that, and the other. Mr. Goody Two Shoe, who always seem like you got a good life. There's already people at the bottom of the tower waiting to see you be tossed out. Waiting to see the lightning of God strike you, boom. You ain't all this, that, and the other. Y'all know it. It happens. It's always somebody that you thought was for you, waiting to see your downfall. You are like, what? You don't want to be stuck. You don't want to be at a stalemate. It's like now you see how she's taking the blindfold off. You're not willing to be blind to the facts anymore. See how this is you covering your eyes. This is her taking it off. The Two of Swords is in reverse. Before I get up in a stalemate, I got to figure out how I'm going to get free from carrying everything. I got to look this thing head on. What am I going to do? How am I going to figure it out? I got to take action. Hello, Rochelle. How you doing, baby? Welcome to the channel. Soothing Ways, Rose, Chris. What's your name? Ref, Elko, Fractal, or something like that. Thank you, sweetie. I appreciate that. This is a high priestess behind me on the wall. If you're familiar with tarot, you know what that is. What's up, Tishara Cohen? How you doing, baby? All right. So y'all get what I'm saying here. This being a little heavy. You're in a mental prison. You're trying to figure it out. Everything's drying up. You're trying to be like, okay. Tears don't fix it. Tears ain't gonna fix this. I'm crying. Problem's still gonna be there. Gotta figure it out. High Priestess is in the upright. This is you trying to figure it out. Look at you. Look at you. Trying to figure it out. Look at things from a higher perspective. Look at that big bird over your head. You are waiting on God to come touch your crown and illuminate with that moon what you can't see. Show me what I cannot see. Illuminate the path so that I may walk. What do they say? Yea, though I walk in the valley of the shadow of death. You're getting ready to experience an ending. I don't know why everybody always thinks about death being a shadow like actual death, but there's death that can happen in other ways in your life. Death and transformation. That's a shadow. You're walking in the shadow of an ending of life as you know it. And you're sitting up here going, well, what do I do? I want to be the Nine of Pentacles. I got to get in the High Priestess mode. So you're quietly trying to not talk about it, but hone in. Now, the thing about the High Priestess, though, is that she doesn't talk or act. She watches. She listens. She grounds. She's watching. But with the Queen of Swords, next to the Five of Wands in the upright, this is not looking good, baby. This is not looking good. With the Queen of Swords in reverse, it started to feel like, are you doubting your intuition? Do you feel like your intuition's lying to you? You know that song, My Mind's Playing Tricks on Me? That's how somebody feels. Is my mind playing tricks on me? I feel like I'm in a mental prison. I think you're starting to wonder, are you lying to yourself? And you are really way in over your head with chaos and conflict. Has the divine left me? Not just my person, but has God left? The Hierophant represents the Most High. Somebody, I seen it. Seven of Wands here. You was on your knees. You're wondering. There's a lot of chaos and conflict around me. My person had me in competition. I didn't know. I thought that they liked me. I thought that they loved me. I thought we was going to have this, that, and the other. And now it's a lot I didn't see. And now I'm wondering, you're questioning, do you even see God anymore? Because is God going, like, the crown? Am I deluding myself? This is a question of faith. Ace of Wands is in reverse. You're experiencing a tower, and you know for a fact you can't birth anything new right now because you want to do what you love, but you can't really birth it because you don't have the money. And you're losing money fast. You got to go in a whole nother direction. Aries, Leo, Sag with the Ace of Wands. And Libra with the Queen of Swords. Taurus with that High Priestess. This is somebody who is really like, I got to change directions. Because I'm out here by myself. Page of Cups is in reverse. You feel like you're in a one-sided situation. Who can you talk to? Who can I run to fill this empty space? Who can you run to? Who can you talk to? When your faith is starting to get a little weary and nobody really understands what you're going through because they're not in your shoes. They know that there might be people, everybody understands haters. But everybody may not know what it's like to have to go through chemo. Everybody might not know what it's like to have to learn how to walk again. Everybody may not know what it's like to feel like, okay, I was going to go to school, but then there was an accident that happened and I got derailed. And now 4 years later, and I got to start over. And all those college credits you had, let's just say sometimes they don't even take the ones you didn't already did. You got to start from the beginning. Who you going to talk to? Sometimes people don't want to talk because people don't always understand what you're going through because you're the one doing it. You can empathize, you can try to sympathize, but unless this has happened to you, sometimes people just be like, man, you don't understand what I'm going through. So you feel like you're in this one-sided situation. Page of Cups, Cancer. Hello, Erica Johnson. We got the Six of Swords is in reverse. The Seven of Swords in reverse. The Hermit, Virgo energy in reverse. The King of Cups, Cancer, Scorpio, Pisces in reverse. And the Eight of Wands is in reverse. You want to move towards peace. You want to. But it just feels like from what you see, you're not talking about it. But you have revisited chaos. When the Six of Swords in reverse, that's like going back to the burning building. You don't want to talk about it. You are by yourself. You're single. Whoever you are, you're single. And you're trying to figure out how to restore your faith so that you don't feel like you lied to you. Seven of Swords. We're going to clarify the Seven of Swords in reverse. Seven of Swords is about returning and apologizing. Now, I don't know if you're expecting this person to come back and apologize. I don't think you are. I think at this point, y'all have just let this past person go. But let's talk about the Seven of Swords. So what is the Seven of Swords? See, Chariot is in reverse. Cancer. Four of Swords in reverse. That's digging something up. Six of Cups is in the upright. Magician is in reverse. Some of y'all are wondering if this past person is going to actually come back and have a heart again. If this is something you can fix. You know, sometimes people hold on to hope. I wasn't expecting this to happen, but maybe all is not lost. Magician is in reverse. Gemini energy. The one who manipulated you, the one who didn't have everything, that left you out here without everything you needed, where you can reach your goals. Are they going to come back and actually give to me? Or is this one of them things where I just got to love myself and fill my own cup? See, because this person's he's filling his cup. And normally on 6 of Cups, somebody is giving you, the little girl, flowers. But instead, it's looking like he's filling his own cup. So maybe this is how you feel. With the Magician here, the 7 of Swords, you got to be kind to yourself. Remember I said, you've been feeling like, some of y'all feel like you've been lying to yourself. You feel like life is literally kicking your ass. Everything is dried up. And so this is you trying to be like nice to yourself because she's filling her own cup. He's filling his. So maybe there was a time where you thought this person, like I said, your past person was going to come back. But what I'm getting here is you can't meet your goals right now, but you're trying to remember to be kind to yourself because all is not lost. You got to go back to being self-love. Hermit, you're not closed off. You don't want to be closed off in chaos. Here with the Hermit. Remember, you got to go back to the burning building. And sometimes going back to the burning building, y'all, is just replaying your thoughts of how did I get here? And maybe there's a step I'm missing that can redirect me to a new path that I'm not seeing. Because see, the King of Cups is in reverse. This is selfish energy. Your person was selfish. They went another direction. It's a lot of people waiting to see you go through a tower, laying in wait, ready to see everything be stripped from you. You know, my King of Cups is also another card for the divine. Somebody wants to see God leave you. And this is what this is showing to me, that some of them want you to give up your faith, to go in another direction. Get up. You see the chaos? Give up on God. Job certainly had 3 friends. Came to visit him. He was up there scraping his skin. He had boils. He was sick. His kids had died. He had lost cattle, property, homes. He was literally laid out in the dirt, was saying, just putting dirt balls on top of his bald head. His wife even looked at him and said, why don't you just curse God and die? Friends, they called them, there's 3 friends, the fair weather friends. You feel like you're by yourself. Who's going to understand? Who can you run to? You don't want to talk. I don't need to hear people tell me to give up on God or that God has gave up on me. You don't want to hear it. You don't want them to tell you to see. You don't want to hear them saying what you was believing in, all that passion you had is all smoke and mirrors. I don't want to hear that. What's up? Skill lids. Lids, how you doing? Skill lids. How are you? Or silk lids. Sick lids. Sick lids. That's his name. Sick lids. Hey, baby. Thank you, Soothing Waves, for the flower. This is a hard one. I don't know if y'all following me. This is a hard reading. Your faith is big. Yours rocky. Everything is happening. Chuck Larry, thank you for the sunshine. Clifford Wilson Jr., welcome to the channel. It's Black Magic Player. Welcome. Miss Edwards, hello. Thank you, user, for the sparkles. Sita Dior, welcome to the channel. Erica Johnson. Ruth Ann Watier, welcome. Brandon Harvey. Quad May L, welcome. Norma Pierce, how y'all doing? All right, going back down to the bottom. Okay. Hello, History, and Carmela. So this reading is real heavy, child. My chest is like literally burning. Hello, Alexis Harris. Because it's like, you on one side, you're on a one-sided situation, and there's a lot of people who are waiting to see your ending to see if God has left you or have you finally given up. Because see, that's what they wanted Job to do. Curse God and die. His own wife looked at him and was like, child, you got boils. You got lesions all over your skin. You know, your hair done fell out. Your beard looks crazy. You out here wearing a sackcloth and ashes. Child, you just look so pitiful. So pitiful. Go on and give up. Go on and just die. And his response to his wife, well, God giveth and God can take away. And then he was just going to, who was he to tell God what to do? Now remember, Job didn't even know that there was that wager was going on in the heavens about him and his faith and his trust in God. He had no idea. Wheel of Fortune is in the upright. You want to go back to good luck. So you trying everything to use your intuition on how can I get things to turn around? But nothing's working because the Three of Pentacles is in reverse. You ain't got nobody working with you. And with the Three of Pentacles in reverse, you are trying to heal yourself from believing like you don't want to think you lie to yourself. But stuff is not working when you try to turn it around. And so here with the King of Swords, this is you trying to make a judgment call and judge the situation like, I'm good at what I do. I'm good at what I do. But see here with the sword, this is the divine handing the King of Swords his sword. So it's almost like you're waiting on the divine to approve you that you are as good as you believe you are. Remember, your ace of sword, it was stuck in the mountain. The sword of truth is coming from the divine. You don't know how to get free, but you're good at what you do because the King of Swords is someone who has mastered whatever they have. So you are good. And you do believe that you can get to the Ten of Pentacles. But you've been given a whole lot of redirection. So it's almost like you're waiting on the divine to free the sword, to tell you the truth, to approve to you that you are as good as you say you are. King of Cups in reverse. Or are you just in your ego with the Five of Swords? Is that my ego, or is the divine going to tell me I'm as good as I think I am? Three of Cups. Because you ain't got nobody else to tell you. Nobody understands. You ain't got no friends or no family or whatever. Like I said, and I gave y'all lots of examples. Whether you're in another country going through this, and it happens. And that story I gave you about the girl, every story I gave y'all so far today, I have heard. Real life stories. From the man who I told y'all who was getting ready to be drafted and he ended up becoming a motivational speaker, to the young lady who went to another country and she could not get a job because she was on a visa and she had to be in the country for X amount of time before her visa would allow her to work. And she was losing money. Then she had no friends, no family. She's in a whole nother country. She's like, what am I going to do? Three of Cups. In reverse. What am I going to do to get my luck to turn around? It be like that. This is how life is. And then I'm tying it all into the unexpected. There's a lot of things watching you. And sometimes you even question, well, did I do something? No. Divine, did I do something? No. You hear me? Yeah. Imagine Job. Imagine Job probably was when the first house went down. Then him was the other person talking about all the crops burnt up. Oh yeah, your kids was having a party and the house fell down on top on a great wind came and destroyed the whole house. I just want you to put yourself in his shoes and just think about how that would feel. And you're praying, and you're not knowing what's going on. And it sounds like it may feel like your prayers are not being heard. Now you're sick and now your skin is broken out. You're losing all your hair. Your wife is not on your team right now. She's telling you to give up on the one thing you've always believed in. And then you got friends who talking about they coming to see you, and then they talking about your bad too. You feel like you want good luck, but you definitely feel like you've been left out in the cold. And you see that last little bit of light, your hope, that light within you is starting to diminish. Is it going to turn? You don't know. The 6 of Cups came back out. I don't know how. I must have put it back. Yeah, I must have put it back. So here it is. You keep trying to, you feel left out in the cold, but with the 6 of Cups, you keep trying to go back to that thing from your past that loves you, but nothing is working for you. You're not in a commitment with your partner who's not going to come back. They've cheated. You found out they all over the place. But you're wondering, is it possible for you to still fill your cup and be stable by yourself? That's a woman standing up on this little thing. She's by herself. She has a driver. But instead of being married, and it was 2 of y'all, because remember, that's over. The world came, that relationship is over. So you wondering, can you really fill your own cup? Because your hope is diminishing. You're out here in the cold. That light, look at that one little light. It's getting smaller and smaller. But light is light no matter how dim it may be. You don't want things to be over for you with the 4 of Swords. 4 of Wands. It looks like somebody is still going to try for stability. You're just waiting on God to approve you, to give you the sword that you are who you say you are. And then you can get up. You can leave this battle. It's not just your ego. You can leave it. And you can go towards your personal wish fulfillment. And for some of y'all personal wish fulfillment is to fill other people's cup. And there goes Holy Spirit. Some of y'all have gifts that are not meant for just you. You want to share your gift with everyone. Even though you don't have no one. Ain't that it? Hello, Tyree. What's up, Miss Zoo? Y'all gonna get me to crying because I feel like this is a heavy read tonight. We got the Knight of Cups here in the upright. Some say Scorpio or Cancer. We got the Chariot, Cancer. 9 of Wands is in the upright. Queen of Pentacles is in reverse. Hangman is in the upright. You're left out in the cold, but you're definitely needing a little bit of love. A knight in shining armor to just come in right when you're weary and offer you something. Your last little bit of hope. Chariots in reverse. You're wanting things to turn around. Maybe so for some of y'all, you're hoping it's a past love. Don't have to be, but some of y'all might be hoping it's a past lover. Even though it's all the way over. Like I see it's over. Like this person is not coming back. This past person. You're wondering, is somebody gonna come in and rescue you? The Chariot come back for you because see, you're in this situation by yourself. Nobody understands it. It's just you. And I'm saying that because Job had a wife, but she still was not experiencing it from Job's eyes or experience, because Job, we didn't hear about Job's wife having a relationship with the Most High. He did. That's why it was so easy for her to be like, why don't you just, you got all this faith in God, but she didn't. She experienced the same things Job did. She had been like, but it wasn't about her faith. It's about Job's faith. And even though this was his wife, she didn't even understand what he was going through. So You keep wondering, are you going to get a hand out at some point? Is someone going to come in and rescue you, or is your stability being blocked by some things that you can't see? I.e., like Job. See, that's a wolf. How many of y'all are wondering, like, what is really going on here? Why am I not being taken care of? Queen of Pentacles in reverse, baby. You're not being taken care of. And you keep wondering, like, what is going on? Every time, and it happens, y'all. Sometimes y'all be ready to try to go 10 steps forward, but you feel like, damn it, I done been knocked. No, let's say 3 steps forward, but you've been knocked back seven steps. Every time I think no. False alarm. You stuck. Pisces energy. Hangman. And you just wondering, what is conversing that's watching me be stuck? What's really going on here? What is really going on here that I don't see? Because see, the hangman is about changing perspectives. What is going on here that is keeping me from pouring in the other cups to having my wish fulfillment? I know I got to do it by myself. I said, okay. I know my past person ain't coming back. They want everybody. They want to be community dang-a-lang vagina. This is community street meat at its finest. They ain't coming back. That ain't no dang on option. But ain't nobody giving to me, and I'm still experiencing blockages, and I have given it all I got. You're the king of swords. You good at whatever you do, but you're still experiencing lack. And you're wondering, what am I doing wrong? The sun is in reverse. What you can't see, you're wondering if what you can't see that's causing all your unhappiness is the devil himself. For some of y'all, you're wondering if you're in spiritual warfare and you don't see it. The sun is about illumination. But when you keep experiencing certain roadblocks, you do wonder, like, is there something bigger like than life? Is there something going on in the spiritual realm that I don't see that's trying to bind me? To try to watch me. And it's literally, this devil got these two hemmed up. Look at how tight he has the string. He ain't even, they on some short chain. Normally they be on some other chain. He just look like he got them on some short leashes. You ain't going nowhere. And with the sun being in reverse, is this the devil? Capricorn, Leo energy with the sun. Capricorn is the devil. Is this what I can't see? The devil been playing with me, and this is why my partner left me. I'm blocked from love and blocked from stability because the devil's still playing with me. And I'm good. Ain't nothing wrong with me. I'm good at what I do. And you're wondering, so now it's like you're waiting on God to approve you because you can't figure this thing out. What is the problem? 4 of Pentacles is in the upright. What is keeping you from having your blessings in overflow? Queen of Pentacles in reverse, 4 of Pentacles in upright. Nobody's looking out. Money ain't being released. Magicians in reverse. Why aren't you meeting your goals? What has you caught up? Gemini and Pisces. What in the hell is going on? Some of y'all have been working. You know how sometimes you do all you can to try to do something. And it just seems like it's just roadblock after roadblock after roadblock after roadblock after roadblock after roadblock. And what I keep thinking about is the pursuit of happiness. That's one of my favorite movies. Not so much because I like the acting, but I like the message of the movie. Roadblock after roadblock after roadblock after roadblock. And it got to a point when he walked into that church and he was at his wits' ends because it was like, dang, one more thing happened to me. My wife left me with my son. And that was the one thing he said, you can't take my baby. Then he lost the apartment. Then he was on the dang on train, that little stupid machine of his. And then a homeless man stole it thinking it was a time machine. Then not only are we homeless, but the room that we're getting, we get put out of. Now I'm sleeping on the floor of a train station with my baby, crying. Because there's people banging on the door that need to use the bathroom, but he had to have a place for his son to sleep. You get an opportunity for a job, and all you got to do is show up. He in there painting, but he got unpaid parking tickets. So he ends up getting locked up, and it's his turn for his part of the interview process of this particular thing. And remember, he was covered in paint. He didn't even have time. Got his friend to bail him out, but he covered in paint. He ain't even presentable to go to no damn interview. Think about what I'm saying here. And he shows up, interviewed in a white beater and some doggone paint in his hair. This man looked a hot damn mess. And you looking like, I ain't gonna lie, in the movie you feel sorry for him because you're like, damn, he can't catch a break. And whoever you are, I'm saying it. You can't catch a break. How much longer do I have to go? And I just remember him sitting in that church, and there was that lady, she was singing some little hymn. I don't even think he was listening. He was just crying because it was like, God, how much more before I go through my change? Queen of Wands. Somebody does not like you're wondering, do they not like your confidence? This is double Leo. Does somebody want to see somebody that's confident, depressed, you're beautiful, you're gorgeous, you're handsome? Why does it feel like the devil keep picking on you and want to slow you down? Could it be, my love, because you pour into everybody else's cup? Your personal wish fulfillment is to give to others. So you have a bigger impact than you realize. Because it sure look like every time you try to move forward, he try to slow you down. I think you're supposed to be a leader. This is why love didn't work. And even though the Queen of Wands, we got the Queen of Wands, I got the Queen of Wands and the Knight of Swords. Love slowed down between you and a soulmate. But if I read this as aspects as opposed to actual people, you're beautiful and you're a leader. And it's something about these two right here. Both of these are Leo, but it could be any of my fire signs, every Leo Sag, but heavy on the Leo. Something about your light, baby. Because I want you to pay attention. Leo energy here. Somebody keep trying to dim your light. You're too confident. You have an ability to lead. And notice how that lion is sitting there in front of, looks like you're carried by the divine, baby. Look at the divine hand you your wand. The divine fights for you. The divine guards you. And some of y'all, it looks like you are the devil's personal agenda. All because of that little light of yours. Now, for some of y'all, I want you to keep in mind, I got lots of stories that can go with this. I gave you Job, but I want you to picture King David. He was made king. They anointed him in the middle of a field that he was the next king. And David was sent back. Thank you so much. What's your name? Rachel Les Stevens. Thank you for the $10 super chat. Now, what I was going to say about King David was he was made king. He was a shepherd. And as soon as he was made king, he was sent back to shepherd instead of being king. He was not standing in his position. So it was like he was on hold. And then the current king, Saul, kept trying to kill him because of his light. God had made a promise with David's line. But it seemed like Saul had a bone to pick with David. He did not like that God had favor with David. And he kept trying to put his lights out. And I want you to think about Joseph. Joseph's brothers sold him into slavery. He spent time in prison for things he didn't even do. And every time it looked like he was going to get out, he didn't. He interpreted the dream for a cake bearer. He said, please don't forget me. About 2 or 3 years went by before that cake bearer remembered that Joseph had interpreted his dream and told the king. So he spent even longer in prison before he was elevated to a place where he ran the palace. So what I'm trying to encourage you all is that sometimes it ain't you, boo. It's what you do and what you give and what you bring to the table. So all your trials and tribulations and some of the things that try to slow you down. And it's like, dang, I'm trying to move like this. I'm trying to move like this. I can't do it. Everybody can't. You can't go to everybody because everybody's not fit to walk in your shoes. So you got to keep doing what you've been doing. Leaning in on the Most High. Now, this is called the Eclipse Oracle. Because everybody don't get it. There's some people who have opinions, but how can you have an opinion about someone you don't have a relationship with the Most High? That's personal. There's people who say they have a relationship with God, but don't talk to God except for Sunday. When they go to church or when they feel the need. And then there's other people who have a relationship with God 24/7 all day. So how can you tell me that God ain't going to show up for me or what I'm going through? You don't know God like I know God. And that's how you have to be. So whoever you are, you out here doing what you do. But I hope that you understand that the devil got a bone to pick with you. Because you're trying to save folks. In your own way. Your light. Something about your light in particular. You see what I'm saying? Just think about like when he was speaking with David. David's line led. Jesus came through David's line. And when Israel got broken up with Judah and Israel, Judah was small. Israel was most of the tribes. I think Judah was a small little tribe of people that he was ruling over. But that was the line. And before David had even began to rule, the devil was trying to get rid of him. And then when he did get in that position, then he had other problems that he had to deal with. You know what I'm saying? It happens. And I just want you to know that this is for a very special person in the collective. Okay? All right, let's get into it. So this is called the Eclipse Oracle. The Eclipse Oracle and then you can see it. Looks like the sun is, the moon is being eclipsed by the sun. Holy Spirit, what you got for the collective? And thank you, Sweet Pea. Rachel, may God bless you tenfold for your $10 donation, baby. Cannot make this up. It says affection, karma, and anger. Do you know what this affection says? It says, I love you. Somebody loves you. It's something about your vibration. Because, see, that's a wind chime. You overflow with positive emotions. There's something warm. And I feel very strongly that this is the divine has a certain endearment and fondness about you. You are fated with karma. Your fate is being derived from your affect action. You have a certain level of love that comes with you. Remember, I said positive emotions. You're warm. It's something good about you. And so there's a cycle of cause and effect as above, so below. And so there has to be this boomerang. God loves you. And I don't know if you realize it or not, but sometimes, y'all, things are, like I said, it's bigger than us. And somebody's angry about God's love for you. Real mad. Do you see how red this daggone card is? Look like somebody wants to pick you to pieces because of the cause and effect that you affect. There's some strong emotions of displeasure, hostility, irritation, boiling point of rage, seething with ill temper. Strong displeasure somebody has for you because of the karma that you carry, due to the affection that one has for you. What's up, Puck Gardner, Marcella, and Nia? Someone's hoping that you will self-sabotage yourself, that you'll stop recognizing who you are. See how he's looking at himself through a broken piece of glass? Somebody hopes that you have a distorted view of yourself, that you will be self-defeating. You'll start blaming yourself. You'll stop believing. It says excessive reliance on that inner critic that you, because see, where the mind goes, the body follows. And so sometimes we will start to feel like we are our own worst critic, because that's what it says, that inner critic. You could be your, that, because they say nobody's harder on you than you are. So somebody wants you to repeat the same ineffective patterns so that you will avoid taking the beneficial action of making the right decision. I tell y'all all the time, the battle is in the mind. That is where spiritual warfare is. It's the battle of the mind. It's like even when people throw magic and whatnot, it's in the mind. It's a mind thing. They're trying to affect. That's why they send projections, mishaps. What's going on? Because of all of this affection one has for you, this is why you're going through a lot of pressure. It says somebody wants you to feel pressured, weighed down emotionally and mentally burdened. They want you to feel like you got too many duties, that you got too many obligations, too many things you're accountable to. Somebody wants you to feel pressured, like you can't get up. You can't take flight. If this bird is on his back, how he gonna fly, right? So remember how I said it seemed like one thing after the next thing after the next thing after the next thing. Now, due to your karma, because your stuff is cause and effect, as above, so below, this is why it's so important for you to continue communication with messages. Communication with others, i.e., those spiritual messages in particular. This is when it's real important because, see, karma is derived from the effect of an action of cause and effect. You got to stay sharp in your mind. You got to remember who God is. You got to remember the truth, because somebody's trying to silence you. So those guided messages with spiritual communication, they want to speak wisdom into you, to remind you of your integrity, to continue to speak your truth, to be candid, to be open, to be honest, to be clear, to be direct. Because that communication and those actions are what's going to lead you to your sweet spot. That's a B. It says blessings. See, somebody wants you to self-sabotage your blessing. Somebody is angry because you speak the truth. The truth that you speak leads to abundance, success, wishes being fulfilled, positivity, generosity, warmth, divine grace. Now, mind you, you was the Nine of Cups. Your personal wish fulfillment was to help others have some of this. Do you understand now why this one's angry? Because you out here speaking your truth. But if this one can change how you look at your truth, then maybe you'll stop believing and then you'll stop talking. Because now you don't believe that you're blessed. I want you to pay attention how this is going now. You see what I'm saying? Hello, Jordan. Hello, is it something? What's your name? How you pronounce this? It's almost like dream, but it's not. Dreamy? You said I love bees, flowers, I go breathe. What's your name? It's like Dre Miri. Is that how you say it? Hello, Wandering Sage. Welcome to the channel. Hey, John Levantis. How you doing, baby? Hello. How everybody doing? Look at all y'all. This is a heavier reading. Hey, BK. Welcome. So I apologize if I missed your name. Upcycled Love. This is a heavy reading. This has a deep meaning. Nina Cordana. Calming prose. They might go over some of y'all's head, but this is for those of y'all that are going through spiritual warfare and you don't even recognize it. But if you talk to the divine and you have a relationship with the divine, then hopefully this message will help you to get some understanding, and now you will have the peace that you need. Hello, Shauna. You right where you need to be. So don't give up. Hello, Levi Golden. Hello, Adolf. Chris M. All right, and I'm going back to the bottom. Honey Sky, I think I've already gotten you. All right, and I got mine strong. Adjoa, the chosen one. Adjoa, the chosen one. Is that how you say it? Adjoa. Empress Tina and Juanita Brown, Tyrone. Ooh, Lord, I missed a lot of y'all. Lord have mercy. Okay, I got to go back down. Octavius, hello. Blackman, thank you. Calming Prose for the floating heart. Miss Edwards, how are you? Ooh, Indigo Energy, hello, welcome. Jack Tanuk, how are you? And Jessica Blaylock, hello, thank you. Elaine, is that Adeline? Elaine for the floating heart, and Queen Sky Mother. Thank you. Hello, Akizi and Janelle Foot Graves and Carrie Sweeney. Welcome to the channel. I need you to understand something because of all this love that God has for you. And this is why you're going through all this pressure. Ooh, my ear is ringing. Ooh, it's loud. You have to wait on divine timing. Look at these clocks. There is an appointed time. So you need patience. All occurs at precisely the right moment. To everything under the sun, there is a time limit. Sometimes when we go through things, we have to have a sacrifice. Good or bad, you sacrifice something. You have to relinquish something of great personal value. You have to forfeit or hand over or abdicate. Job had to abdicate his riches, his children, his home, a lot of his wealth, even some of his connections, really, because he was sitting outside in the dirt by himself. Only 3 friends came to visit, and he was a rich man. So he probably, rich people tend to have a lot of friends and family. The only people who was coming to see him was 3 people who was basically making a joke of his situation. And his wife had been gave up. It's going to cost you something of personal value as you wait on divine timing. One of the things that the devil wants for you is for you to mistrust, to be suspicious, to have misgivings or apprehensions that God is going to rescue you in that divine timing. He wants you to be skeptical. He wants you to feel forgotten. He wants you to have doubt in yourself, in the divine, and in your situation. This is important because y'all, I never really got it at first in the tarot, but when we was in the tarot, like, this is spiritual warfare. Somebody is in spiritual warfare, didn't even know it. And I needed to tell you this. So you're going through this thing and it feels like nobody understands because that is your sacrifice. But you are not alone. Keep communicating with spirit. Keep speaking your truth. Because you're going to be generous and it's going to lead to a lot of divine grace. Your blessings and your ability to bless others, the enemy wants you to self-sabotage. Keep going. Keep going. Because I need you to understand something. You are the game changer. You are the disruptor. You're the one being called to be the master magician. It says wizard, rainmaker. You're the one that's being called to come in and shift the atmosphere. It's time for you to tap into your full potential and manifest something from nothing. You are an alchemist. And you will bring into fruition a certain connection between divine inspiration and the earthly realm. This is why your path is so hard. This is why it feels like you keep going through the dark night of the soul. Like you feel empty, separated from divine spiritual depression. In the tarot, it kept feeling like you kept feeling like, is God listening? Does he hear me? Yes. Did I do something? No. What's going on? And I think I needed to remind you of just a few things biblically of people who have had that walk before you, so you will understand that dark night of the soul you're in. Because you right in the middle of your divine timing. Like, you don't even understand how close you are to bringing this into. You're about to alchemize. And so you got to keep holding tight to the faith right now. Because you are really at a point of alchemy here with the dark night. It's time for you to Understand it's time for you to get into synergy. This means getting into full alignment. And the only way you're going to get synergy is if you can keep this divine communication. It is combined effort towards a goal. Notice what I'm being ready to say. That has an exceptional impact. That had you done it individually, but you have to be unified at your mastery in this particular elevation. New levels, new devils. And sometimes y'all spiritual lessons don't come like normal. You are at a certain elevation and mastery as you go through this dark night of the soul. And some of y'all didn't even know. Like, you were like, what the hell is going on? You're being pushed into alignment and it's uncomfortable. Remember, you kept saying, when am I going to get resurrected? When am I going to get resurrected? When am I going to get resurrected? When is it going to be over? I thought it would have been over by now. But see, you have an exceptional impact. Didn't I say something about that? This divine grace. Didn't we say that? Somebody who speaks wisdom with honesty, clear and direct. So somebody wants to see you have a tower. Can't make it up. Somebody wants you to feel a sudden jarring of changes, a shakeup, a crumbling, a shaking of your foundation that's built on an illusion of false assumptions. See, they want you to look at your reality, but see, sometimes the reality is a false illusion of feeling like you've lost. But it says, but if false illusions on false assumptions, it says, but it will allow for the clearing for a new growth of your soul's evolvement. Your soul is going through an upgrade. So the old paradigm or the old you is going through a shift. Because see, you're going to have an exceptional impact. So you got to go through a different type of elevation and mastery where you're bringing into alignment. You're not by yourself, but you coming into alignment. And so your soul is going on this new level of growth. So the tower is letting go of old ways of thinking, old ways of doing, old ways of moving. Thank you, Adolf, for the 10 super chat. He said, touch not my anointing. Because somebody here is anointed, because this is heavy. And the hair on my arms just stood up when I said that. Because this is a different type of mastery you're going through. And see, somebody is resentful of what you're going through. They don't like it. Somebody wants you to feel reoccurring feelings of hostility, bitterness, fear. The devil wants you to feel fear, disappointment over a perceived injustice. Why am I going through this? An ability to stop thinking of and re-experiencing these strong emotions. They want you to feel annoyance of being forced to accept something that you do not like. An inability to forgive or move forward. Thank you, Tanny Howe, for the 1990 super chat. May you both be blessed tenfold, you and Adol. Somebody wants you to feel an annoyance of being forced to accept something you don't like, and an inability to forgive, and they want you to, or an inability to move forward. Somebody is being asked to surrender. And then in my head, I just heard, after you've done all you can, you just stand. I literally heard that. After you've done all you can, you just stand. Acceptance, flow, detachment. Cease resisting. In other words, some things you just got to go through it. Continue to talk to the divine. Continue to pray. That's atonement. Continue to pray. To have oneness with self and spirit. To rectify your perceptions. Because remember, I said you got to have synergy. You got to come into alignment. And prayer for whoever I'm talking to will rectify your perceptions. It will rectify, it will correct, it will bring it into alignment. So, though it will rectify your perceptions or your actions, that one, you have not been left. Two, you have not been forgotten. Three, you have never going to be forsaken. And what God said is, all things work to the greater good of those who love Him. So, you need to understand that this will be a lesson learned. You will be reconciled within yourself. Pray and forgive yourself and others. Because this is all about creating self-deception. Who you're battling is self-deception. It says deceiving oneself, denial of one's true nature or feelings, accepting what is false as true. Somebody wants you to accept what is false as true. God forgot me. I've been forsaken. My time will never come. I should just give up. Somebody wants to keep you in a distraction with escapism. But the way you fix it is through prayer. Stay prayed up. And remember, faith without works is dead. And prayer is an act of faith. Just FYI. It is. Because everybody don't do it. Just keep that in mind. Hello, Teresa Morales. Hello, and Agon. What's your name? A. Gonzalez. How you doing, baby? What's up, Jeshua? Hello, Taya Alvaro. If you need a personal reading, it's at the bottom of your screen where it says I'm the Light 369. Push that. That's my full email right there. Hello, LJ. How you doing? Hermana. Did I miss anybody else? Kilt Still Growing. Welcome. Kelly Marie. James Flooring. God's Messenger of Peace. Welcome to the channel. You'll know if this is your reading, honey, from start to finish. Hello, Miss Joe. This was a longer read, but I had a lot to bring out. Hello, Murkish, Intellect, Paris Reed, S. Berry, Jessica Blaylock. I ain't gonna lie. God has a way of renewing. So, if you've been feeling shaky on your path, I hope that this renews you to keep going. And I hope you remember those people I gave you that sometimes we got to look at examples that have walked before us. And sometimes some of y'all have real life examples of people you can understand their trials and their tribulations. And you could look at them as a reason to keep pushing. But for some of you all, you are on a very special path and you are the first. And there's nobody to ask but the divine himself. There's no one else. There's no friends or family that will get the path you're on but divine. So you got to just keep praying to stay in alignment. Because nobody else is going to get it. See, you're going through a spiritual upgrade. This is the money deck, but you are going through an activation. You are going through an activation. Whoever I'm talking to. Hello, Connie and Joanne. Welcome. And Kira. It says you're activating your soul's purpose and receiving gifts. This is why you're going through what you're going through. This right here. Somebody is on a soul's purpose and you're receiving gifts. You're awakening your soul and you're tapping into your ancestral memory that's pulling in inner wisdom. Do not focus too much on the material world. Focus more on the spiritual world as you go through this. This is why I said keep communicating with the divine, because this is a special upgrade, baby. This is not you on a new level. You on a new level, baby. This ain't no surface stuff. When I'm talking about tonight, this ain't no surface. This is not everybody's walking. It's like you have left that plaything And now the devil's looking at you like, okay, this one right here, this is serious. I got to turn up the heat on this one. I got to get them to self-sabotage. And you got you done got some of the attention of some things in the spiritual realm. That's all I'm saying. Yeah, the way that this reading is going, you got the attention of some things, and this is why they hot on your tail. But do not give up. Do not let that discourage you. Now we got two things. Something here with real estate and divine timing. Any dealings with real estate will be profitable at this time. A realtor, whether you want to become a realtor, a loan officer, an appraiser, or any career in real estate. Maybe you want to sell some real estate. It says, but the point of the real estate card is you need to pay attention to the foundation you're building on before you start trying to build several stories on it. Because you are only going to be as good as your foundation. So do not try to jump steps. Because your foundation is really, really important. Now, while this is talking about money on a spiritual level, because this is behind activation, that means you better make sure that your foundation, as you elevate, is solid. So that means your routine with the divine needs to be solid. Your prayer life needs to be solid. Your routine, your meditation, everything needs to be solid. That's your foundation. Because as you start to build, you don't want your stuff to come tumbling over. And as you think, so are you. So you got to make sure you stay strong there and wait on divine timing. It says your angels are working behind the scenes. Did you hear what I just said? Your angels are working behind the scenes, and things will come together at exactly the right time. Somebody needs to write that down. This too shall pass, into everything under the sun there is a divine time. You might need to look at it every day when you feel like giving up. You're expecting things to happen at an unrealistic timeline. When you are on a new level like this, baby, your timeline, like the regular timeline that everybody else is on, you just throw that out the window. You're on a whole nother timeline. Because it look like your spiritual walk is a whole different kind of walk. So that timeline goes out the window. You got to be patient. What you're being asked to is to ground and meditate and be patient. Look at her, grounding, meditating, patient. As she's in the stance, her hands look like prayer. It says it will require having faith as you are shown the way. I'm only talking to you if you have faith. Faith is not the substance of all people, and different people have different levels of faith. Just like people come in here and think I don't believe in God, you would be sadly mistaken. Very close to divine. Very. You know me. And so whoever I'm talking to, you need faith. It says the universe will give you what your soul needs at the exact perfect time. So in other words, your every need is being witnessed and responded to by the universe at exactly the perfect time. Did you hear what I said? My every need will be responded to by the great divine, or you could say the universe, at at the most perfect time. It says the need to control will leave no room for divine timing to work its magic. Don't try to control this. Whoever you're at, you just gonna have to. This is one. Remember, I said you got to surrender. Remember, I said that. This is one of the things you got to let go of. Trying to control when is this gonna be over? It's over when God says it's over. How long did Job go through what he went through? They don't really say. It's a short book. But I imagine it took some time because Job ended up having, he got double for his trouble. He ended up having even more kids, got even more property, and that had to span years. Remember Joseph, he sat in prison years. Somebody going through something. It's looking like this ain't gonna be no quick thing. you're on a new level, and this is not everybody's walk. So y'all, please understand and take it only if it resonates for you, because this is not buddy, baby. Because you got to be patient, because you about to experience a lot of conflict. I'm talking to somebody, you got a big purpose, baby. You might find yourself having personality clashes, lots of conflict. It says if you're experiencing competition, this is the time to up your game. Pray more, do more. Set new goals. If you're not willing to fight for whatever, it says, some of y'all, it says, if you're not willing to fight for whatever it is that you're wanting, then why are you doing it? So you're being called to fight for what you want, because you're going to experience a lot of conflict. You want it? Go get it. Yep. You're being asked to endure, just what God's messenger said. What's up? Apples are delicious. Somebody's being asked to endure. As things balance out, as Libra energy, it says legal. But the first thing I thought about was God's balancing your scales. It says dealing with legal issues or a life lesson. Somebody's dealing with a life lesson. This ain't got nothing to do with money right now. This is a life lesson. So you need to seek an expert, specifically that if you are handling this legal matter. And the only expert that you can go to is the divine, your light team, his son, or whatever it is you believe in. I say the divine, his son, and the Holy Spirit, and your light team, your guardian angel. But this is who you go to. That's the experts. Because this ain't one of them walks you gonna make by yourself, baby. You got to have synergy. And you got to get in alignment. It says your karmic debt has to be paid in order for you to redeem from past mistakes. Whoever I'm talking to, I don't think this has nothing to do with karmic debt, baby. I don't. I think you have paid your karmic debt. I think your karma right now is because of what you are going to bring to the world. You have a special purpose. Whoever you are going to help others have an abundance. You're pouring into others. And when you start trying to wake up or enlighten or cut other lights on, it not only gets the attention of things, the unseen things, principalities, things in the unseen realm. This is what's coming for you. So it's not about your karma so much, because your karma is destined. You are being rewarded, but it's a lot of things that want you to fall off your square. So you need to continue. Remember I said you got to have that spiritual routine, got to be solid. Like a rock, baby, unmovable. That's for whoever it's meant to be for. It says the artist. Somebody's creative endeavors will help them to improve your cash flow. Something you're creative in is actually going to help you. She's sitting on a stack of books. Maybe you might want to go back and brush up on some of your skills. It says whether it's photography, design, music, acting, art, anything that's creative, whatever it is, it looks like with her sitting on these books, somebody need to go back and do some extra. Ain't nothing wrong with brushing up or learning one little technique that could take you over the top. Seek out the things that inspire you, that will help you to boost your creativity. Like I said, sometimes you can't teach an old dog how to new tricks. They say you can't, but you can if you take the time. Some of y'all need to take the time and go back and relook at some things that could open up a pathway that could actually make life a lot more comfortable with comfort. It says your income will actually become steady and you're living live very comfortably. I need you to remember this, because whoever was talking to in the tarot, you was going through some things after a breakup. And I don't know what type of whatever it is you was going through, but you was by yourself. You were being very optimistic. You seemed like you prayed. You had a lot of positive things going for you, but you kept feeling like you were getting roadblocks by the devil. And you're going through spiritual warfare, but This is why they're asking you to keep rising the bar to get out of your comfort zone. You better get comfortable with being uncomfortable. And everybody don't understand it. You're going to have to be on a certain level of consciousness to catch what I'm saying, because that's where your growth is. If you feel uncomfortable, it's because you're growing. You're going through an activation. You're going to a new level. So get comfortable with it. Be comfortable being uncomfortable, because that's where you're going. Because see, being too comfortable and playing life too safe could hurt success. You're actually becoming more successful by being, whatever this discomfort is keeping you on your toes. It's keeping you leaning into the divine. It's actually keeping you out of your ego, because when you're in your ego, I got it. But it's actually keeping you closer to the divine, because you're going to keep seeking for help outside of yourself, and which is a demonstration of faith. So catch what I'm saying? Because see, whoever I'm talking to is being put into a position of leadership. You're going to be a king or queen rising. Cannot even make it up. I told you, you got to say, can't make this up. Leadership, and right up under it says angelic help. Cannot make it up. And look at here, next level. You on a new level. This is exactly why you are all of everything. This, if you were catching this reading late, you need to go back and watch it from the beginning, especially if this is resonating for you. It says you're stepping into a role as a leader and you are ready. Your career will improve once you accept and you step into your power. You are, don't, it says if you are following the crowd, you have a fear of putting yourself out there, then you got to go back, baby. You're not ready yet. But whoever I'm talking to, baby, you ready. You're not a follower, you are the leader. And this is why your path is seeming very resistant. You run into resistance because you are meant to lead. You're meant to be the first. You're meant to be the game changer, the disruptor. You change the atmosphere. There will be a shift with what you're bringing in. So this is why you got to do what you got to do. It says you will have angelic help. Your angels are blessing you with new opportunities. Your angels will be assisting you. Just know that you will be provided for. You will be provided for. And whoever this is that was in the tarot, you was going, like, I just see the confusion. What is going on? What is going on? It just was feeling like you just kept getting roadblocked. But now, if you did not know and you're wondering what's happening, they see what's happening to you. But just know you will be provided for. And sometimes you need to remind yourself that, listen, God said a child of mine will never be begging for bread. Not ever, not never, not never. Sometimes you need to write that stuff down and remind yourself of these lessons as you are going through your struggle. It says you must ask the angels to come into your life and help you. So in other words, didn't I say that whoever I'm talking to, this was a faith walk because it was designed to make you lean on the help of your divine light team. The divine himself, and the angels, and that he put charge over you. All of these things, his son, all of this was meant to make you lean in, because you are being elevated to a new level, higher heights. We're already going through the activation as we speak. You're getting ready to take your finances, your business, your personal, whatever you got going on, to a whole new level. You're getting ready to go into an uncharted career demand that will require constant evaluation and adjustment to succeed. Did you catch what I just said? Let me repeat that. Whoever we're talking to, if this is resonating with you, you're going down an uncharted territory. This is why you couldn't go to nobody. It said that you kept feeling like you was by yourself in the tarot. Nobody has walked this walk. Nobody understands this path. Nobody can tell you what it's like. If you're the first one to decide to be a doctor in your family, the first one to finish college, if you are the first, that's an uncharted territory. And I'm using that as an example. It could be in anything. So, and especially if this is a spiritual thing, whoever you are, because you are going through this career, whatever you're doing, this spiritual elevation requires a constant evaluation of adjustment. Constant evaluation and adjustment. So you gonna keep being uncomfortable because God has to keep looking at it, evaluating it, and readjusting you with that synergy. Or if you want to succeed, you cannot remain the same, because if you don't push yourself, you will not make it up this next level. If you want to succeed, you're gonna have to push. And I ain't talking about that little push. I'm talking about push. You're going to have to push. This is one of the ones where you're going to have to drop to your knees sometimes, get on your hands and knees and crawl towards the finish line. Push. Ask God to have an angel touch you on your back, and by the touch of your nose, you make it over the finish line. Push. This ain't no easy walk, whoever you're talking to tonight. This ain't no easy walk for you, because things are getting ready to take off, and it's going to be a lot of work. Things will take off, but first you got to go through this elevation. Things will take off sooner than you expect. Now is a good time for you to take action if you have not, because there will be no stopping. When things start to speed up, ain't gonna be no stopping. Get your rest in. Get your rest in. It says don't rush though. Don't rush into things without making a clear plan of where you are heading. This is why you need to be on that thing with that angelic help. Don't rush. You got to have that synergy where you are constantly being reevaluated and readjusted so that you can keep succeeding up that ladder of success. Because this ain't one of the things you're going to be able to do by yourself. Now, this is a lot of work with labor. It says your hard work will be rewarded soon, so please do not give up. This is hard. Whoever you got a hard path. Whoever you are, you can do it though. It says, see, you're up under construction maintenance. You're like a painter. This is laboring work. So your work, whatever you do, is tedious work. Like building a house. That's tedious work. That ain't lying. But do not be afraid of hard work, because what lasts will not come easy. Be comfortable being uncomfortable, because they just said it right there. If it's easy, that ain't it. It ain't gonna last. It says peacemaker. I think this is why you get so much heat, because you're a peacemaker. And I can't make it up. And a teacher. Teachers help others. You pour into others. I knew it. It says you have a win-win approach that will bring mutual gains. You will teach what you know, even if you're not an expert. You have a peacemaking job. Something where you make negotiations, contracts. Some of y'all might be political, don't have to be. For some of y'all could be unions, don't have to be. But you could be a teacher, a life coach, a mentor, or somebody that is like into motivational speakers. But you have to apply diplomacy and tact when dealing with difficult situations. Remember, you can't lose your cool. You got to still be you got to have diplomacy and tact. But you have the ability to help others uncover their true potential. And this is why, didn't I say something about if you're helping others to turn their light on, you get a lot of attention from the things in the spiritual realm, the things unseen, principalities, all kinds of things will start coming up against you. Because it's like, oh snap, that little light right there can spread. So there's a lot of things trying to keep you from shining your light. Because see, somebody out here is going to build a legacy. You have the ability to build a legacy. Your work can be passed down to future generations. This is why it's so important for you to harvest the gifts of your ancestors, because they are also yours. If you feel detached and disconnected from your ancestors, please open the door, and you can work with your ancestors, or just being open to what's behind the veil, working with your spiritual team, your guardian angels, the divine, building a more intimate relationship with him, his son, or your spiritual teams. This is what you're being asked to do at this time. But do not lose heart, because for some of y'all, it's slow and steady wins the race. Think about the tortoise and the hare. Sometimes it'll feel like you're making slow progress, but do not be dismayed. You're getting there. Remember, slow and steady work leads to success that is sustainable. So please do not put things off for later when you need to do it now. Sometimes there's times we need to do stuff right then, and we need a push to get our head in the game. Prayer is your friend. Ask for what you need. You got to get in the habit of asking for what you need. I can't focus right now. I'm going to go for a walk. I'm going to go ground. I'm going to meditate. And then I'm going to ask God, help me to get my head in the game. I got stuff I need to do. I got to do what I got to do. And you got to do what you got to do because you lead others. So, and you got a legacy coming behind you. But you are not alone. I hope that this reading really resonates for most of my collective. I understand it's not everybody's story. This is a deep reading. Hello, Emily. How you doing, baby? An angelic angel. This is about someone that is on a light. I guess I want to call you a light worker or something. You do something that's big. You got a big responsibility. You are going to feel a little weary. Thank you, Adolf. Yeah, the power of now. Thank you for the 555 super chat. He's right. The power of now. You're being asked to elevate now. You're being asked to not shrink down. If you were having questions about what's going on, why you keep getting roadblocked, why haven't you elevated, what is going on? Because it's some things that you can't see that's trying to get you to give up and self-sabotage yourself. You're being encouraged to not give up. Ask God's Holy Spirit to lead you. Lean in. Ask for what you need and keep going. Please do not give up. Giving up is not an option for whoever you are. It's just not. You have too much responsibility on your shoulders, but you can do it. You're being called to leadership. Everything will happen in divine timing, but you are going through a paradigm shift. The old you it's like that's another reason why it feels uncomfortable, because the old you is going to be, it's like you shifting out of one way of thinking and being, and as you go up this level up, you shifting into the new you. But it does feel like a dark night of the soul, because who can you talk about to? You by yourself, and the only person you talk to for some of y'all is the divine. Or anybody else. You can't call your mama, no friend, no family, because whoever you are, your spiritual assignment is like nobody else's. But congratulations. Do not give up. Do not give up. And if you feel like you're about to give up, you need to get on your hands and knees and believe that prayer can really change things. It really can move mountains. Okay? Prayer in itself is an act of faith. And faith without works is dead. But that act of faith is faith. That's action. Faith in action happens when you pray. All right, that's it. I want to thank the Most High, His Son, His Holy Spirit, and my light team. I want to thank JP the God for moderating, and I apologize. Hello, Natasha Harris. I knew a Natasha Harris when I was in high school. How you doing? Oh, junior high. Welcome to the channel. Welcome to the channel. WS Betty Boop, Amanda Hayes, Emily. How are you? How's everybody doing? Tammy Romos, the new King, Kip. No, is it Kip? What's your name? Kip Orty or something like that? I don't know, baby. I just got Kip. How you doing, baby? Sierra, how y'all doing? Johanna, thank you, baby, for the flower. A. Gonzalez, the electric. Dana, how are you, baby? Welcome to the channel. It's been a pleasure, y'all. This was a longer reading, but it was really deep. I hope that you could get with it. It's not for everybody. God bless you all. If you need a personal, imthelightttarot@gmail.com. And I will gladly help you, especially if this is your story. You need a little help. I will gladly tap in to help you with that. We do this every night, 9:30 Eastern, 6:30 Pacific Standard, 8:30 Central in the USA. So please Google your appointing time zone. I go live every day. Thank you to JP to God. Thank y'all for the monetary donations, the 263 jewels, the 271 likes. This is a very deep reading. Congratulations, good luck, and keep going, baby. We need you. All right, that's it. That's all. I love y'all, and I'll see y'all tomorrow. Bye, baby.